Because that was like the only.
Shows how good my mom was. Because he hated it, but not being enough to let me.
Up until a certain point.
Up until certain.
15 years, that
and
was
you're
like,
over
I
it.
made that commitment to now. The lease is expired. Yeah, we're good to go.
Better one. Thank you all for joining us. For this iteration. They did the library. Visitors. By themselves. All Spokane Public Library. Additional home. For band, lower band, and Chewy living. It's time immemorial. Spokane tribe of Indians lived and cared for these tribes, identifying themselves as flesh of the earth. We pay our respects to their elders, past, present, emerging. We show gratitude to the land, river, peoples who have been fishing, hunting, harvesting, gathering here for food. And we learn from one another's stories, our true relationship with the Spokane tribe. Okay, let's see. Approval of the June 17th.
Really quickly, I would just like to point out that there are no visitors listed from last month, so that is my error, and I will add that list in. So that is a correction.
Approval to move the order. Ordinance of June 17th.
Visitors adding.
In $1,837 and.
I built. I should have just said what he said. 1,116,800 dollars and.
So I was about to mention that because I'm looking at it. But
Don't have
well, I tell you what we'll do. We'll just jump over the chairman's reports. So I think we've talked too much already.
You have.
And we'll. Wow. I feel so loved after being gone for a couple of months.
Next, why you keep.
Fine, please.
Having a rough.
Yeah, it's okay, and it's rougher apparently. Please join us with your wisdom.
Okay, so financial update for June 2025 for operations. So for our cash and investments spending, we're now able to for 96 days for or $5.
You missed one meeting.
Sorry, you guys, they're not able to hear us very well, so I just wanted to. Test. It's like. Just, I think because it's such a big room, I think we just need to speak up a little bit. Oh, gosh.
Maybe if we say everything twice.
Say everything twice.
You should be good now.
Toby?
The business office update, so first one's already up. So in the back, next content. We have some punch list items. But the item we can cover negative. The building inspection did the wagons, and we actually received this. Monday. So. Also, city's financial management. Maybe it's the next stop.
Forward. Just take a look.
All right.
Hey.
I have submitted my report. Well, things to talk about. We are in the process of talking with Henry. One being. This is a framework we will talk to create some organizations. Highlight the big experiences and improve outcomes. So it's think about pieces and just those experiences. It's not a focus is the best on step. Elevate. Services that we provide is providing. So we having. The second initiative is time bank. We'll call from the trustee with we will talk about checking out of the kind of policy. We will talk with them about this concept, but we're in the interest in volunteer match. Since that has been taken. That's where the library. Space to use. The way it's time baking is we put in an hour of time. So later. It's hard to get an hour of time. Any questions about those? Those.
Time banking. The library is just doing that as a site or you're heading.
We're just a link. People can sign up. In rooms
Yeah.
and just do. Another organization running that sort of. I would feel it's 5 months. Looks. Nine about. We also have this. Start with like election, I had mentioned that they don't say that lost funding. Yeah. Library. Maybe that's. I'm also treating conference this is a possibility of us combination. Yeah. Skywalks. Let's talk about that. Skywalk from Nordstrom's to the library has been. During our investigation. It would expired. Legal. Company that. that skywalk. Since I reviewed that permit and sent. Given into the skywalk is certified maintenance. So at cabinet today, I did mention still an issue. Is sort of what really effort that. It's either. One. Access. It really is. So. We're not be doing this in what. So we see this at the. Right now they're out of.
Can I interject really quick? I do need you guys to speak louder because they're just not picking up what we're saying. They could pick up what Skylar was saying, but I think because she was just louder. Sorry, guys.
Sure. Open office hours continue staff. This month, we'll also continue students from. Survey. Our star spotlight review, which is the possibility. Big way to. Sure that the library is safe and secure. We continue to work with this budget, meetings Thursday. Cabinet, so leadership is. Also in partnership, the city is still promoting here in the role. We will be providing. Yeah. So these will be part of the library base collection. And each took into the arcades, poster signs and directional signs, so. They have a better ones. Check out those from us.
I just out of curiosity, you know why you guys ended up with that instead of.
311.
Well, so the neighborhood councils have a whole bunch of material. That they were able to get. I think this makes more sense, but. It's weird.
I think because we checked them.
Yeah.
And they just thought that. Originally. You know, they had wanted us to have them.
Yeah.
But these are big.
Yeah.
They're signs.
Yeah.
We don't have that sort of space. Everywhere, so
Yeah.
we're just going to pilot it at Central. That'll be the.
Yeah, they have like a popcorn machine, like they have a whole bunch of things that need. And you have to, it's not always accessible for people.
They were actually kicked out. Nevada County Commission about emergency. So we actually appreciate that concept so well. Considering any of the places where they meet.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying is that there are other things that could. Follow suit.
You're probably gonna have to.
Open to can of worms.
Yeah.
Yes. It never makes sense since.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, do we check out the owls from the library?
I think it's just sort of a continuing.
June meeting, I didn't realize was. Earlier, so thank you. Oh, still on. In August already, and I apologize for missing last month. I think that We have, one thing that might be notable, the school parks initiative. Looking at my help with this. If you haven't read through that proposal, the park side would hire 20 more. Which also helps out with locations of control and shadle. Mostly for me and repairs to have people out there, helping people do it works with whatever they need. And then if the school side passes, they are also going to contribute to 5 more park rangers since they also have shared property with the park. So there's a piece of that package, that funding package that I think is super relevant to their operations in the city. And that additional capacity for park rangers giving them cleanup, just perception of safety, friendliness, all of those issues. So that's just something to think about. I know everybody's got the funding too. So I think that the other thing, of course, is jurisdictions are also there are different entries that they have to go for. Funding, including scope and transit, including some regional efforts that are somewhat stalled by the intentions. So all those things are still happening. We don't have clarity on any of them. And also, as you probably know, the city is meeting about our mid-binding budget coming up towards the end of the year, and we're pretty prepared for that, and aware that we have yet another revenue shortfall that we will be dealing with, so just bad news there. So bracing ourselves for that. Of course, library brace themselves for that, unfortunately. And we are still coming back with a drawing board looking for ways to protect folks who rent spaces from ice raids. Well, so that we had an ordinance that affected parks, and then we changed it to public spaces. And now we're putting the roadblocks again, but still an effort that we're interested in looking into, but really just trying to find legal hooks to hang it on. It's been very difficult as true.
Uh,
So in front of you all today, you have the new issue of Lilac City Local, that's a summer issue. So it covers things like summer reading, the Lego programs that we're doing over summer, that's within including Lego Masters, which is our local brother and sister who were on the Lego Master show and also have done a Lego program with us. I believe that passed, but there's other Lego programs if you're interested. And the cover is a really beautiful wedding photo that obviously took place on the 3rd floor here, and a really nice story about their experience of why they chose the very nice. People. Had a chance to read it yet? And then our next issue will come out in October. The 3 of us, Alina, Skylar, and I, participated in a really great crisis comms tabletop exercise with the city comms department. If you don't know, I meet with them every other week just to connect on various city and library communications topics. And so this was an extra 2-hour meeting for us to all sit down and talk about how we would operate from a communications perspective if there was a downtown where we had to kind of unify on our messaging and create a crisis center. So that was really cool to have an opportunity to talk to everybody about that, and it really highlighted all the work that we've done to prepare for crisis situations. Dialed in communications plan, which we updated as a result of this meeting because there was some outdated information like phone numbers and things like that, but it's always reassuring to go to meetings like that and feel confident in the work there for a worst case. A really cool new partnership that Alina and Jason have set up is streaming local music from Lilac City Records at Scale House Market. Scale House Market is a new year-round farmers market. It's just over the border of the valley, so it's not in city limits, like on the street that divides the two. So I know that SCLD is doing like a bookmobile pop-up there, but they saw an opportunity to partner with us as well as a way to, they have a lot of live music there, but when they're not playing local live music, they wanted a way to have, you know, streaming background ambient music. And so it's a really cool opportunity to get Lilac City Records and local artists playing in our community. And it's really inspired us to maybe reach out to some other businesses to having local music playing in the background rather than your, you know, typical Spotify or radio. We're looking into that. And then in front of you also, you have your Spokane is Reading bookmarks. We announced Spokane is Reading. It is on October 20. Yep. And it is the Reformatory by Tanana Dew. To remind you, Spokane is Reading is a partnership between SCLD, Spokane Cider and Aunties. We're really excited about this author. It's our first horror, but it's also based on reality of a reformatory school in the South that the author has actual ties to in her history. So I think it's going to be a really great. And you've got several months to check out the book or buy it, and they come to the talk that will be at 1 p.m. and 7 p.m. on the 20th. Lots of new projects this month because we're gearing up for the fall. So you see this kind of cycle for us where we spend a lot of time gearing up for an upcoming, you know, season for summer, for example, and then it kind of we get quiet, and now we're in the fall prep period right now. We sent 26 unique emails in the last month, almost 100,000 email or a million emails, sorry, a million emails. And really cool is we did some list cleanup. So now our open rate percentage has increased. It was 37% in the last month. Our top visited webpage and blog this month was Summer Reading Club, really doing a lot of that. Social media was pretty solid. Again, we had really high engagement last month. And so this month's good engagement looks just kind of decent, even though we did get 16,000 views on our reptile man. Speaking of, you'll see Denise, a picture of Denise at the bottom of my page here with the reptile man's alligator on her head. So that was a really fun event. Another fun event that we promoted was the Touch a Truck, and then this
Never been around any animals. I wasn't sure how she was. But. It's. Yeah. So. Yeah.
and I'm so glad to hear that.
Ask you the craziest. Does the library play a specific role? Just for coordinating our message within a library institution?
I mean, it really would depend on the situation, but the idea is that we would all collaborate to make sure that the message was getting out. And depending on the emergency, we may be tapped to play a specific role if it was on deck.
Same is true with operations, so part of emergency crisis and set up.
Vanessa and Denise.
We are going to be doing 2 programming reports for May and June today. So we'll start with May. So in 2023 and 24, 39.2% of incoming kindergartners were ready at kindergarten readiness in the 6 different levels. So it's really great to see that our kindergarten countdown story times are the 6th highest in the impact scores for youth events for the month, because we want to do as much as we can to increase that percentage. The highest youth impact score for the month of May was the kindergarten countdown story time, and it had 22.2 as its percentage. There were 35 youth programs with 291 people in attendance and 50 story times with 1,967 people in attendance. And the highest attended youth program was the Toddler Storytime Play and Learn for the month of May.
Right, on the adult side in May, we had Zine Fest at the end of the month, 434. Great Zine Fest. Another really high attended thing was the green vegetable starts giveaway at Shadle. We plants. A lot of people showed up for that. Maybe making them food. And then the biggest thing for the month was the Pulitzer Prize winner author, Yet Tom Lim. He just overran outstanding turnout for that. And we also streamed it online, so including people in person, about almost 300, and then the rest, maybe 250. For adults, and then I'll go into June for adults. And, let's see. So one of the highlights of a new program that we started was Eva Silverstone, our art specialist, hosted a Creative Mornings, which was a national thing. So it's our first spoken group. And it's like a networking event in the morning for creatives. So we had a special guest and there was some activities and starters. And then also Ryan, video specialist, did headshots. So a lot of people have that. Headshots. And then the highest attended event for adults in June was Pride, History, and and that was a really lovely community building event. And to explain more about that exhibit at online, a lot of people got really online. And we have a lot of press coverage, which is really great. Some of the highlights we have gowns, maybe throughout spoken history. We had Dempsey's disco ball, which was hard. And we had a lot of people come in just with that. You can see the fibers and so
so we already mentioned Reptile Man, but we did do 3 different programs with him at Central, Shadle, and Liberty Park. We had 527 people attend those events. And it's really cool because he's been doing this for 40 years. He's from Monroe, Washington. And a lot of the parents remembered him from when they were in elementary school. So I love that. It just brings it like full circle. So that was cool. Lucy the alligator, there was a tortoise, the albino python, Oscar. I have a deep fear of lizards. And I made myself hold the bearded dragon and I fell in love with him. So the Reptile Man said you can get over your fears if you just hold them. So I did, and it worked. He's so smart. And there were lots more that were, you know, you got to see and, but we couldn't touch all of them. Yeah, that was super fun. There were 400 people that attended Touch a Truck, which was our highest attended youth program. Such a great event. 400 is amazing. Mason coordinates it with a lot of awesome partners in the city, a lot of different organizations, and it was very successful. A lot of people were very happy with it. And that was also the highest youth impact score at 27. Any questions for us about programs?
Circle of life.
Yeah.
Tell me about the genesis of that.
The circle of life as in like generations or my favorite reasons. Okay. I was like, wait, where are we going?
Yeah.
You know, it's just we just want to continue offering programs for all ages, like to continue seeing. I mean, the teens that we have at our teen programs, we hope that they come back with their kids someday. We hope that they vote for the libraries. We want to see that continued community and togetherness with all of our ages. We don't want to lose anyone. We want them till they're seniors, you know, so yeah, it's just really important. And that's why I love seeing the parents remember Reptile Man so much, because it's like, yeah, and they were really excited to share that with their children, and the library could be a part of that. And it's just so special.
I was also really excited. All the time in Portland, and I was like, oh, it's in Spokane now.
Hey.
Yay. Okay, so this is an item again, it's just informational. So I'll read it to you. So the background, so the nearest side is the on subject. Library has been benefited from the sale of the. That was approved. In recent years, the library. Unbound. Construction. Stating in addition to continuing further approved. And the others. But we look at the recognizing. Really. We make the economic choice and. In summary. Start out. Reduction. Following policies for the direction from the minute. We are proactively recognizing. Goal is to maintain high service level. While temporarily affecting from the for long and sustainability. And the ongoing. And program higher education, but not a the objective is identified. So. The one information that's a part of the. And then you mentioned. Budget meeting. The following. I would. Like.
Uncertain about. Okay.
Lead time would. For all of you. to go ahead and.
Well, I've got a couple of these to put forward. One is a repeat of last month. I brought forward the president, great policy update. The quick reminder is this update simplifies language with symbols clearer and more structured. It defines residents as anyone who clarifies permanent access. Resident access and expands access. Services identifies additional residents. And talks about I presented it last month. It was tribal migration. And with the tribe rather than behalf of. So I reached out to the tribe for times now, left some voicemails and some heard back. But in the meantime, I would like to get this policy updated and on the post of the tribal residents. So that's what we are asking for.
Understanding that it's all.
Thank you.
Next policy, vision of the customer code of conduct. So what is, it reflects some minor changes that just kind of clarify some points for us that are intended to the current safety needs primarily of the library, but also some other facilities. And basically what it does is it expands our opens our conduct to plazas, many of the big issues that we've had is the central library being less than welcoming to the stacking along, having animals. Also seeing unintended animal being tied up outside. Yes, being after reviewing building, they felt that our current conduct already disallows this kind of stuff. It leads to them. So you could infer that from our current one, but they suggested that in order to make it more. That's these modification. Obviously, there's clarification of the room for sleeping, camping, use of outdoor spaces, using storage of carts and scooters and bikes, gathering animals, and using bicycle racks frequently and construction of them. So this will support our staff enforcement reviews, ensure safe access for our customers. So, question. Really important.
Yeah, like. Yeah, I just.
Yeah, so our security focuses. Somebody's got some violating some of the typically required development them and try to engage them. Let them know about the rule that they're violating. Show them how to. When they don't to follow the rules that we have gradual maintenance that we follow. We're action, this is action, this is what happens. So including trespass, which will pass.
I was assuming that was already.
Yeah, this is just. Exactly, our safety team. We've tried to, the last several years, we've tried to make it just really clear to our users. Posting signs of the law, so you're not going to surprise you. You don't want any customers to walk in. Process, so we educate them. Also try to.
From the old site. Okay.
More bullet.
Yeah, under the second section. On the second, so it, for that meeting. There's additional items. She. One of the two.
Just to clarify.
I think that's the last date it was passed, so we'll.
Yes, this is one of the. We ended up updating this one more frequently than any other policy. Let's see, but it's the last several years we have.
Yeah.
So any of the.
So
We stopped doing that. We lost one of our years of specialists. I didn't put that in.
Yeah.
We're actually replacing now. Already here that Andrew was talking about, working some of that stuff. And say for one less. So we tried to bring a space that we use down in. The month is also conflicts and staff stress. We had happens in reflection. We want to do them by this, but you know, solving instances isn't really the library is. It's a completely problem, you know, it's kind of that. You know, talked with several.
Yeah, that was-
Nobody has actually done consistent. We had some. For a while, we were. Come by and do it. And then different nonprofits. Understanding that consistency is really lacking. Possibly we've seen other communities that provide the properties out on the street. But the state is not interested in doing that. Especially residents actually don't. So, you're absolutely right. I think that this has the potential to restrict access to limits.
But we have problems with storage, showers. And all of those issues with putting up facilities. Yeah, so it's going to go along with the job of the people who are paying, that's money to start a so maybe you see this issue. There's still a lot of gaps in this still.
Some of the issue is. 2 years. And that's when we have to decide that.
Yeah.
So it's.
That I take issue with. Like thinking of what the library. I had a stroller Elected plaza.
So like that as an example. Anything. Shopping. We don't have much of this. Inside the someone's. And strollers are permitted allowed inside the
Yeah.
building. And even reaching student and. So it's not. Option of access. Once it's. That's not a large. That is that I brand for it. Is. Like you can. We lock that off in the evening so that you just. So you get along. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, this is part of it. That's the community.
We're also walking around. This.
Yeah, but the encampment part of the building. Like we, because some additional costs in this. That's the sort of behavior that we talk about. That's like sitting. Isn't just one of the efforts. And fewer things they can stretch to that structure. Usually the camping stuff happens. And oftentimes the things that get attached to that biographic.
Ma'am. Oh, weird.
That's a hard. I need a walk. We have a lot of conversation. So in the shopping. That's the.
And just, quite understand it is being the library that condition and rise library.
So that's kind of a. Times over the years.
Happens in every library.
You guys are. Do the best you can.
It's absolutely.
Anyway, thank you for those. You can see some of the great conversation and stuff like this. Let's see how we're doing. We have seen the. My